Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Dee Dee and I am back to make another video. It's been a while since I made a video, and that's just because life and laziness. But for now, I'm gonna be documenting my hair journey on this channel and some miscellaneous things. Right now, I just have these twists in my hair. They're nothing really fancy. I just wanted to put my hair away and not bother it anymore. I use Cuban Twist hair to twist my hair, and I just put perm rods in the very end. I have the package to show you for anyone who cares. I use this, the Equal Cuban Twist. It's a double strand one. Looks like this. I used 2 strands of hair. I combined them, combed them out, combined them, took a section of hair and just twisted it up to the very end. And when I got to the very end, I decided to use these flexi rods. And I also used the white ones just in case. I ran out of some. It really didn't matter to me. I just used what I got, used my resources. And I put them at the end, dipped it in hot water, and that was it. So the thing about the hair is it's very fluffy, very light and fluffy. And if you'd like to wear your hair down, I just feel like it's not as, it doesn't have as much volume, and it's not as thick, and it doesn't have as much weight as other hair like braiding hair or actual kinky twist hair or any other types of twists that people usually get. So enough about these twists. The most important part of this whole entire video is that I am Unilocks. So for those of you who don't know what that means, locks are dreadlocks, rastas, dreads. Not really sure what other way there is to say them. It's very fresh. It was a decision that I made when I went to Jamaica, and I never thought that I would ever be the kind of person to have locks. But with circumstances and with I guess clarity, and after exposure to certain things, I decided that this might be the right path for me. As for me being able to fully be comfortable in my own skin with it, I'm going to be 100% honest, I'm still working on it. I'm not used to the messy look. I'm not used to the messy stage, and not really just messy, but the stage where it gets fuzzy and it looks like I didn't retwist them, but I did, and they're still just very young and they're maturing, and I love them. I just don't know how to work with them, if that makes any sense. I guess to give you guys a little bit more information, I'm going to just do a lock tag, like a newly lock tag, and hopefully that'll give you as much information about my hair as possible. After this video, I will be taking down these twists because I have had them for a while, and for the first time I'm gonna wash and retwist them myself, and I'll come back on camera and show you what my locks look like. Without further ado, let's get it. I'm using my phone because it has the questions that I need for the lock tag, so bear with me. The first question that I have here for the lock tag is, when were your locks born? So meaning the day that I started them. My locks were started on July 3rd, 2016. Yay! Initially, I had started my locks in June after coming back from Jamaica, and it's like the horror story of how locks are started. I went to this loctician. She didn't know what she was doing. She was referred to me by 2 friends, and long story short, she just sucked, and I experienced some damage, and that's a whole nother video that I could make. But why nurture negativity? The next question is, what size do you want your locks? So initially, I wanted to have big locks. Like, I love the look of thick locks, and I love how easily they're maintained. And by thick, I'm not talking about like having 6 jumbo locks on my head. By thick, I mean maybe like 40 or 50. But I also like the fullness of having smaller locks. I did consider sister locks, but unfortunately they are expensive to maintain and small, and if I wanted to do them myself, my arms would probably go limp, so no. I came to the realization that maybe just medium locks would do for me, and honestly, my mom didn't give me much of a choice. After failure with the first loctician that I went to, I just had her do 2 strand twists for me, and when I was giving her a description of what I wanted, she pretty much disregarded me like it's a hair braider's mentality. She did what she wanted to make them full or to make them whichever way she wanted. Like, she didn't care what I wanted. But in the very end, I ended up liking them, and that's all that matters. So in conclusion, my locks are medium sized. The next question says, what made you want to start your lock journey? The most important part. So I went to Jamaica with my boyfriend over the summer, well, beginning of the summer, and when we went on vacation, I had misinformation from a certain friend of mine who told me that I could get my hair done for the low while I was in Jamaica. So I went there with my natural hair blown out, freshly washed, blown out, and I was thinking, oh, they're gonna do my hair for the low. I'm thinking like dirt cheap. But turns out my American accent warrants otherwise. They wanted a lot of money to braid my hair, and it took a lot just to find one person to braid my hair. And for half of the trip, on our resort, there's this beautiful pool, and the beach was right next door, or right in front of us, with the pool right in front of us. We're sitting poolside, and one of these girls and her friends were in the water, and he was basically telling me, get in the water, and I was like, no, I'm just gonna dip my feet in. And they just kept watching and looking at us like, why don't you just get in? And I'm like, I can't. And the girl who was in the water, one of them, her locks were just so beautiful. Like, she had these gold tips, which were natural. Her hair was light brown. She had these golden tips, and she had thick locks, but you can tell they started off really medium and it just swelled over time. They were so long and it just piled up on top of her head, and she just looked so carefree. Black girl magic. She just looked so carefree, so happy, so relaxed, not worrying about whether her hair was getting wet or not worried about what her appearance was. Like, it didn't matter to her, you know? So we started talking about her locks. I started like asking her questions. I ended up getting in the water despite the shrinkage. I didn't want to be that girl, you know, so, and besides, I wanted to swim. So I ended up getting in the water, and we talked about locks, and she basically was just like, if you want them, get them. And I'm like, I never considered it, and one thing led to another, and I started considering it. So that's how I decided to get my locks. Yeah, the next question is, what has been the most challenging thing thus far? Okay, the most challenging thing for me is, I thought that I was gonna avoid the shrinkage. No, I thought that I could get away without shrinkage in my natural hair life, and that was false. Nobody told me that my locks would shrink. When I first had the twist put in, my locks hit my shoulders, and they were a decent length that I felt like I could rock. And then after my first wash, they shrunk, and I'm like, okay. Then it kept shrinking and shrinking and shrinking, and I'm like, wow, like, I wasn't expecting this. And then that's okay, so that's one of the challenges. Do you have any lock goals? If so, what are they? To be honest, I don't have any lock goals. I don't have anything that I wish except for my hair to lock. Another question is, what do you love the most about your locks? Ooh, okay, so I love the fact that they're just so authentic, if that makes sense. You know how if you have a weave, or if you have a full lace weave or a wig or whatever, and your edges ain't yours, like, you know what I'm talking about? Nah, okay. Do you have a lock crush? If so, who? No, I do not have a lock crush, because one of the things that I've learned the most from doing my research on locks is that no one's locks is gonna look like the others. So my locks are gonna look completely different than the next person's locks. So I don't have lock crushes, but I do follow Lock Living, I believe, on Instagram, and I love being able to look at how other people's locks are progressing or how it looks. So I do admire others and how their locks look, but I don't have a lock crush, to be 100% honest. So the next question is, what are you looking forward to on this new journey? I'm looking forward to them growing and them being beautiful in their own form. So guys, that has been all for my newly locked tag, and I will be back with another lock update when I am done retwisting them.